Hello, this is Jamie Magrich. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. Now it was using those two pieces that were left over from the card that I did last. So let's get started here. I'm going to be using the Stylish Shapes dies, which are what I used to cut these out last time. I used the two largest of the Stylish Shape squares. One out of soft suede and run through that embossing folder, and then one in white. And that embossing folder is that cane weave. Okay, I have a card base, thick 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Then I just have a scrap of white. Okay, I'm going to be using the Artistically Inked just for the sentiment hello. And I'm going to be using the two-tone floral. I'm using this flower and this little flower and this stamp and this leaf. And then I'm using this die here from the two-tone floral dies that matches it. Okay, let me go ahead and get that die out and these dies also have this great one. I'm going to put that there so I don't lose it. All right. For inks, all of these colors are being retired. So I have polished pink, rich raspberry, soft seafoam is not retiring, but paer pizzaz, and then the memento is not retiring either. But 3 of the 4 colors are retiring colors, along with the soft suede. Okay, so let's start with this piece here. And I'm going to stamp this more solid one with the polished pink. Ink that up well. I'm going to stamp it down in this corner, and I'm going to have just a tiny little bit of it hang over. So I'm going to bring in a scratch paper. Okay. Look how bright that is. And it goes down to this, dries back. I like that. Okay, now we're going to bring in rich raspberry. And the detailed part. And see those little, I think they're called pistils, stamens. I'm going to line those up, or try to, as best I can. It's kind of hard to do when I can't get my head over the... There we go. Perfect. Okay, we're done with this color. Okay, now we're going to bring in the paer pizzaz. And the leaves. We're going to stamp some leaves on here. We're going to do 2nd generation stamping, so we're going to stamp it 1st generation. Turn it a little bit and do a 2nd generation. Just be careful if it hangs off, because it will be darker where it hung off. Okay, I'm going to do another full generation here. Down here I'm going to do another couple. That one I would need to stamp off. Okay, I'll do one up here. Okay, so there's that part. We're also going to add the sentiment on there. I'm going to use the memento for that. Right there. Perfect. Okay, we can put the memento away. Okay, we're going to turn this over and put some dimensionals on the back of it. Take the backs off of it. Bring in the soft suede piece, which we've run through that embossing folder. I'm going to center this up on here. Okay, set that aside for a minute. Now we're going to bring in this piece here, that's a scrap. We're going to bring this stamp. And we're going to stamp it twice. It's one of the things that I learned for better stamping is to make sure you're leaving your stamp on the paper a little bit. It makes for a better stamped image. It lets the ink absorb, and that's one of the things I wish I'd known sooner. I'll set that aside for just a second. We're going to bring in the front of our card, and we're going to want to lay this here. So we want to stamp a little bit of stamping around here. So let's come in with the soft seafoam ink. I'm going to need to wash the stamp off because I don't want to contaminate my soft seafoam. Okay, and I think I'm done with this color. All right, so I'm going to get that long foliage stamp again. I know I'm going to want one over here, so I'm going to ink it up with the soft seafoam. I'm going to stamp one here. I'm going to stamp one here. I'll stamp one over here going off the page. And I'm going to stamp a couple over here. Okay, so that's going to go on there like that. That looks pretty good. Now let's bring in this little tulipy looking one and the polished pink again. I'm going to add a few of those. Let's add some here. Some up in here. A little bit over here. It's pouring like crazy outside today. It's been raining all day. Okay, like that. Just a little bit here and there. All right. Bring in my mini cut and emboss. This way so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to need my #1 plate and my two plates. Bring this in. And the little die that matches. I'm going to line it up the best I can. Oops, I forgot to put a cutting plate down. Another plate on top. Run that through, and I'll need to do that a second time. There's one. Do the second one real fast. Try to do it fast, but if I don't take my time, then it doesn't come out very well, because then it's never even. Oh, come on. All right. One more. All right, so I'm done with this. Let's put this away. All right, let's bring in our card base. We're going to put one of these up here. Decide where we want it. One of these over here. And you know what? I might come in with a little bit more. Oh, actually, I think I'll put it there this time. A little more pink ink. I think that'll work. We'll do that. I probably should have stamped around this. Oh, we'll just put it there. It looks good. Okay, I'm going to come in with my Tomo glue. Today, my glue's actually working. Go ahead and set this down here. It's all right if it's hanging off just a little bit. You can trim it off. Okay. Try not to use too much glue, because then it's going to ooze out and make a sticky mess. Get a little bit of glue seeping out. Just dab it so you don't smear anything. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and glue this piece down. Down here in this bottom. There we go. There's a card we just made together. Here's the one I did previously. Now I'm going to bring my snips in. Just trim this little bit of edge off here. It probably would fit in my envelope anyway, but there we go. Well, thank you so much for joining me today at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper. Have a great one, everybody. Bye.